So the thing you're seeing with the icons underneath the players on the field is our player weapon system. So what our player weapon system is about is like really bringing to the surface the best players in the NFL, making sure we separate the elite from the good and the average player. And what we wanted to do is we didn't want to just put some icons underneath the player and say, okay, these are the guys you've always had, and take a look at them, aren't they cool? What we wanted to do is make sure we actually built into our gameplay unique abilities and skill sets for these guys so they can actually play a role on the field and make sure we really differentiate what these guys can do versus other players. These are the guys you want to get the ball to. These are the guys that are going to break the game open for you. These are the guys that have unique skills. So we got 24 different player weapon types. And again, these guys are the difference makers. And it has, different level of ability for different people based on your skill set. So if you're a brand new guy, you're playing Madden for the first time, you pick up the game, you're going to see these icons underneath the players before the play starts. You understand, those are my guys I want to get the ball to. If you're a more senior guy, you're a more hardcore guy, you've been playing the game for a long time, you can actually really build your strategy around what weapons you have on your team and what player weapons they have on their team. So you figure out how to exploit people, how to really take advantage of mismatches, and actually see these guys play the way they're supposed to. Beyond that, when you're playing inside of franchise mode, this is where it has big benefit to me and guys who play a lot of franchise mode. People spend a lot of time picking up players, trying to build a perfect team, trying to build a perfect offense or defense, and when they get a player on the field, he doesn't really make that big of a difference like they expect him to. Well, now that players have weapon types, the guys who are real elusive backs or power backs are actually going to perform like that on the field compared to other guys. Guys who are spectacular catch receivers, those are going to be the guys that are going to go up with consistency and snatch down the ball with one hand. Possession guys are going to catch the ball, get blasted, and hang on to it. On the flip side, every single weapon we have has a counter. So we want to make sure that these guys that are player weapons don't just go out and dominate the game with a good skill set. We want to make sure that we can actually have a nice counter. So we've got a power back, we've got the ability to tackle low so they can actually cut a guy's legs at. You got a guy who goes up for spectacular catches. We have a guy who can actually go and get mid-air collisions and try to crack the ball loose. So with everything we have in the game, we make sure we have a nice counter for it as well. Fully balanced system. There's some of the stuff that we've been talking about in the blogs, like Ian Cummings and different guys on our team back home and the gameplay team been talking about how do we actually get the gameplay so much better this year where we can't wait for people to just pick it up, put their hands on it, and really understand why Madden is everything it's ever been plus from a gameplay perspective. And the way we were able to do that, one of the big things is branching technology. So with our branching animations in the past, we've had long animations. Animations look really beautiful on next gen, but at the same time they weren't as responsive because you had to wait for an animation to finish before we could actually break a player out of a move. So now with branching technology, we can break a player out at any time, and it gives you that responsiveness that's missing in the game, as well as just other tweaks we've made as well to just make the game as responsive as possible. But it's back to twitch skills. So guys who've been relying on animations to just kind of play the game and kind of just based on what the game will do are going to get exposed. Now it's about what you can do with the sticks in your hand. You can really start to break people down and embarrass them this year. So we have a feature this year called Ring of a Champion, and what that's about is really taking the next step of what we've done with Madden Gamer Level. So last year we had Madden Gamer Level, we introduced it. It tracked your progress throughout the whole game. If you played a lot of online, you played franchise mode, you played mini games, you played head-to-head, whatever you did, we were keeping track of how well you did it. And we were showing you an overall Madden level based on how you spent your time in the game and how well you did. Well, now we said, that was cool, but charts and graphs, it's kind of limited, so we want to take it to the next step. So we built this whole virtual showcase, which is a big trophy case that sits in the middle of the game. Right when you start the game up, all the menus sit over the top of the showcase. And the centerpiece of the showcase is your Ring of a Champion. And basically, we got 5 different levels of rings you can build up. And based on how you play, we're building up the Super Bowl type ring. It's going to have your favorite team's logo on it, or your custom team's logo on the top of it. And when people play you online or they play you head-to-head, they're going to know how good you are based on the type of ring you have. At the same time, we also have trophies. So one of the things we do back in the office is when the game gets pretty close to being complete, we play a lot of head-to-head against each other. We got this one big trophy that a guy named Romo on our team built, and we play for it head-to-head, and when you lose the trophy. If you're playing, you get the trophy. So we said, why don't we put this on there for the community as well, that if they're playing, they can play for trophies. So we built a system that you can pick a trophy before you start a game, put that on the line when you're playing somebody, and you'll lose that trophy, it'll go in their trophy case and vice versa. And so, we got this whole set, man, and that's pretty hot. And another thing we've done as well is that we've got task trophies. So as you're going through and you rush for 150 yards or you throw for 400 yards, different things that you do throughout the game, you get trophies for those as well. So we're making sure we recognize what the user does in the game and do it in a very visual way, a really rewarding way, as significant as possible. Let them understand this is what you've done in Madden, this is all you've accomplished, and make sure it's relevant to sports. Madden NFL 8 will be out in the middle of August. Make sure you pre-order your copy now. It's coming on X360, PS3, PS2, Xbox, PC, Wii, pretty much everything you can imagine. Madden will show up. it'll be better than ever. And best thing I can tell people, most important thing I can tell people is go out and actually play the game. If you get a chance to go to a demo kiosk, play it. When you play it, you'll see what we're talking about this year. There's no hype, it's all gameplay, so check it out.